Happy Victory Monday, Bengals fans, and welcome in to Cincinnati Bengals Talk. I hope you're enjoying being AFC North Champions. If you're new to the channel, I'm James Rapien, publisher of allbengals.com, and wow, what a day, what a game, what a season. That's my biggest takeaway is so far in my feeling today after what took place at Paul Brown Stadium on Sunday, because there were so many question marks going into this year. So many. From Joe Burrow, will he be healthy enough? Will he be the same guy? Will Jamar Chase have the impact that the Bengals hope that he would have? Will Zac Taylor be competent enough to coach a winning team if those things happen? How will the offensive line play? Will this remade defense be improved? Will they be much improved? Is Lou Anarumo the guy to get that improvement and maximize their talents? All of these things. Will they stay healthy? Something that hasn't happened in recent years. And I could go on and on and on and on and on. And over the past couple of weeks, and really since their 5-2 start, and then their 7-4 start, and it's been a roller coaster of a season. But I think a lot of people have brought up or asked the question, are the Bengals ahead of schedule? And I had dismissed it most of the time because I didn't know yet. You're right. This team was hard to peg, hard to get a read on, get a beat on because of the up and down play. They'd win 2, then they'd lose 2. They'd win 1, then they'd lose 1. They'd have a good performance against the Packers, but then they'd come up short. And it's hard to get a read on them. That's why I'm 8-8 with my predictions this year, even though I do think that I pegged the game right. Even though my prediction was wrong, who was going to win, I think I had a good feel for how the game was going to go. Just the Bengals obviously performed better than I thought they would. Huge win, of course. And that's fine. You guys can cold take me all day long. I'm happy to be wrong because that means the Bengals won. That being said, are they ahead of schedule? Well, as of right now, I think if you would have timed all the way back to when Joe Burrow was drafted, right, April 2020, he's sitting in his living room on Zoom. It's the only draft in NFL history that wasn't in person. And, well, yeah, I think that in year 2 of the Joe Burrow era, you were hoping that they would be able to compete for a playoff spot. Maybe not win the North, but certainly make the playoffs. So I think from that aspect, they're on schedule. That being said, not ahead of schedule, not behind schedule, right on schedule. That being said, I do think that there is a scenario after what happened on Sunday where they beat the number 1 team in the AFC at the time. And to me, and for my money, still the favorite in the AFC to go to the Super Bowl for a 3rd straight year. The back-to-back AFC champs, the team that almost won 3 straight AFC championships if it wasn't for an offsides penalty a couple of years ago against the Patriots before that 2019 Super Bowl where the Patriots beat the Rams. All of those things, right? But the fact that they beat them raises the ceiling. And so now, not only do I think they're right on schedule, but I think there's a scenario where they're ahead of schedule because they're much better than most people, including myself, thought they could be. It's one thing to make the playoffs. It's another to be a legitimate playoff threat. It's another to be this team that's capable of beating anyone in the AFC. Right? There are teams that make the playoffs every year, and you're like, yeah, they don't really have a shot. They don't have a shot at making a deep playoff run. I don't think you can say that about this Cincinnati Bengals team. I think they're capable of making a deep playoff run, and I'm not sure I would have said that yesterday before the game or 2 weeks ago, but they proved it now. They went toe-to-toe with the team that's back-to-back AFC champs, and they overcame not 1, not 2, but 3 14-point deficits. So they have the firepower, they have the quarterback, they have the weapons, they have the defense. I think they have a shot. I think they have a shot. So where are they? I think they're right on schedule. But there's a chance a few weeks from now we're saying they're ahead of schedule. Because if they win a playoff game, and then if they have to go on the road to Kansas City or on the road to Buffalo, potentially, depends on how the seeding works out, and they compete and they're competitive, that's ahead of where anybody thought they'd be. Or maybe they win. Maybe they make it to the AFC title game. It's all possible, by the way, because of Joe Burrow. His last 2 games, all right, I'm going to do some quick math here, but he had 525 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 picks last week against the Ravens. 446 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 picks against the Chiefs. And so that's just a huge, crazy Madden-esque line, especially with the pressure that he's been under. So you're looking at what? 971 yards, 8 touchdowns, no turnovers. I mean, that's insane. And for everybody that downplayed what he did against the Ravens, look at what the Ravens did to Matt Stafford and the Rams. That secondary played better. That defense played better. And that is worth noting because Joe Burrow carved them up like a Thanksgiving turkey. And then he came back against the Chiefs, and even though they were down, even though he was getting hit, they just balled out and played at such a high level. I'm going to get to Jamar Chase in a second, give you some thoughts on him, because to me, anyways, I'll get to him in just a second. But first, I want to say the one scary thing and the one thing that's going to be a question always is the offensive line. Will the Bengals be able to keep Burrow upright enough, keep him clean enough, keep him healthy enough? And that's obviously priority number 1, number 2, number 3 this offseason. And look, I never downplayed the fact that they needed that offensive line help. I was on the Team Chase bandwagon because of what we saw yesterday, because of what we saw on Sunday. He's a freak. He's not just a good receiver. Like, that's the thing is these people, and I ripped them during draft season, but because it was pretty clear to me that a guy like Chase that did what he did in the SEC at 19 years old is a freak. Okay, he's different. And now at 21 years old, after a year off, is what? Showing he's a freak. 79 receptions, 1,429 yards, 13 touchdowns. The 1,429 yards is an NFL record for a rookie in the Super Bowl era. 79 receptions is a rookie record for the Bengals, 13 touchdowns. Certainly a rookie record, just 4 off of Carl Pickens for the most receiving touchdowns in Bengals history. And we could keep going on about records. He's 12 yards away from breaking Chad Johnson's single season record, which he could certainly do next week against Cleveland, regardless of who plays quarterback if the Bengals decide to sit some of their starters. It's just so many things that he's doing. And that's what happens. In today's NFL, you need this type of firepower. You need those type of weapons. You need to have this weapon. Oh, you want to double him? That's fine. We're going to go to T. Higgins. You want to double him? We're going to go to Tyler Boyd. And on the off chance that they cover all of them, you have other weapons to work with. And when you give Burrow a quarterback that's so smart pre-snap and is so intelligent, has such an innate ability to go off script and make plays and just be a high-end passer with great accuracy, the sky is the limit. And that's why when we talk about, are they on schedule? They have a chance to beat anybody because they have the quarterback, they have the weapons, and they have a competent defense. And they can get heat on opposing quarterbacks when they need it. And they can put up points in bunches. So I'm not picking the Bengals to win the Super Bowl. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying they're going to do that. But are they capable of beating Kansas City at Arrowhead? Absolutely. Are they capable of beating Buffalo? Are they capable of beating any team they draw in the AFC? The Patriots? They are. Now, will there be some question marks? Absolutely. Is there a scenario where they're one and done? Absolutely. Still think they'd be on schedule in that scenario. But the exciting thing to me is this Bengals team, they needed to skip a step from last year to this year. Because last year they didn't go to that 7-8 win range. And they might have if Burrow, I think they would have beat Washington. I think they would have beat a couple of those teams, the Giants, if Burrow hadn't gotten hurt. And so instead of 4-11-1, maybe they would have been 6-9-1 or 7-8-1. Right? And it would have felt like, oh, okay, now if they take the next step, they can get to the playoffs. Well, they had to skip that step this year. They couldn't have a mediocre year. And by skipping that step, now they're back on track after Burrow's injury. But the exciting thing to me is they may skip multiple steps. There's a scenario now, and I think it's realistic enough. That's why I'm talking about it. That's why you come here to Cincinnati Bengals Talk, is to get my thoughts. I think this Bengals team is capable of not only making the playoffs and skipping the stuff that they already did, because they already did, right? They're AFC North Champions. But taking it a step farther and winning a playoff game or winning a couple playoff games, making a January run. And that's the part that's so damn exciting for me, because when you have dudes that don't give a damn about who's in the crowd or who's booing or who's on the other side, and they're just so damn talented and confident and cocky, and yes, you need to be cocky, and they're cold-blooded killers. To go back to what Bart Scott said last week, and I had a video about that, that's what this Bengals team is. They're full of bleeping killers. Guys that aren't going to flinch, aren't going to blink, aren't going to get rattled if they mess up. No, they're going to go out there and play big in the biggest moments. The Chiefs had a 14-0 lead, and Jamar Chase said, hell with this, I'm going to go make a play. And he made a play. And then he ran nearly 22 miles an hour, according to NFL Next Gen stats, and outran the entire Chiefs defense. And suddenly, boom, he's doing the gritty. And the Bengals feel like they have hope. Felt like there was hope after that play throughout the game. Even when it was 21-7, even when it was 28-14, it was like, okay, yeah, they need to get a couple stops on defense, but this offense is alive. Chase brought him alive. And obviously, Joe Burrow's play is just, it's insane right now. So when you have that mix, that cocktail, with a defense and a defensive coordinator that's going to dial up the right things, an offensive mind in Zac Taylor, who for the most part I thought called a good game and has called good games and is letting Joe cook. Yeah, the offensive line is a question mark. There isn't a team in the AFC that doesn't have flaws. The Chiefs, again, probably the favorite still, flawed. The Tennessee Titans, as of today, are the number 1 seed in the AFC. You scared of them? I don't think so. And yeah, they'll get Derrick Henry back, and yeah, they're capable of making a run. I'm not saying that. But I don't think they're scary. The Bills? No. Patriots? I think they're good. Can you outscore them? Can you go toe-to-toe with Bill Belichick? Like, that's my point. So the exciting thing, the Bengals could be ahead of schedule. And look, I'm sure you're celebrating today. AFC North Champions. You got to get to Rivertown Inkery. Our newest sponsor. They're local. They're a great shop, and they are open Tuesday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Make sure you check out rivertowninkery.com. Their shop just 10 minutes from Paul Brown Stadium in Oakley. And I've been there. Doug and his crew are awesome. And the great thing about this shirt is months old. It's been washed a bunch. I wear it all the time because it's nice and comfortable. No fade. Looks great, feels great, great material, and they have a ton of Bengals and orange and black merchandise that you need to check out, whether it's something as simple as the jungle. And I love this logo. You could get stickers here, a Cincinnati sticker like this, something that simple for the back of your laptop. Maybe you want to put it on your microphone if you record a podcast or something like that. Plenty of stuff at Rivertown Inkery, plenty of Cincinnati gear as well. They have whiskey glasses, different glasses that say Cincy on them. So you got to check them out. I'm telling you, it's a place that you love. It's a hometown place. And whether you're just traveling in for the playoff game, it's fine. It's a quick Uber to Rivertown Inkery. Or maybe you drove in. Well, then it's real easy to get there. Or if you're in the Cincinnati area normal, just drop in or check out rivertowninkery.com. Quick shipping. He's great at it. Getting the products you order to you quick. And that can be a challenge for a lot of these businesses. But Doug is great, so make sure you check him out again, rivertowninkery.com. I don't know about y'all, but I'm excited. I'm so damn pumped. I'm excited for all of those players. I'm going to give you one more story here, and I'm treating this like a damn live, but that's okay. Tyler Boyd. I started covering the Bengals in 2016, where I was in the locker room regularly and talking to these players. And that was obviously the downfall for the 2015 season. And Tyler Boyd was drafted then, and he was a rookie. And Tyler and I formed I wouldn't say, it wasn't like we hung out, but a professional friendship, right? Where I'd see him, we'd say what's up, we'd shake hands, we'd talk when we needed to and stuff like that. And then I went to Cleveland, came back, and the pandemic happened, so I haven't really gotten to chat him up like I would want to. But that dude grinds, works his ass off. And I remember talking to Tyler Boyd in 2017. I think it was 2017. It was before he had his breakout year. Because 2018 he had his breakout. 2017. And I was like, man, you can ball. I know it's not there. And he's like, I know. He was very confident. And I can't help but think about guys like that. Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon. Even the Kevin Hubers of the guy, Clark Harris, guys that have been there and have survived all the roster turnover and have seen the good times, like Clark Harris and Kevin Huber, and had to deal with the bad, or never got to see the good times Never got to beat the Steelers like Boyd had dealt with for years and years. And now you sweep the Steelers, you sweep the Ravens, you win the AFC North, and you have a shot. These dudes feel like they have a shot to make the run that all of you want them to make. So, yeah, can't help but feel great for them as well. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Went along with this video. Get the rivertowninkery.com as well. We're going to have a ton for you all week long. All week long. So buckle up. It is time to go off Cincinnati Bengals talk. So all you Bengals fans out there, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you ring the bell. And we got interviews coming for you this week and a ton more. So for our editor, Andrew Fox Miller, I'm James Rapien signing off right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk.